What is the direction that we want to take our country in? And who is the best candidate to lead this country in that direction at this point in history? Let's consider. The candidates offer many reasons why you should not vote for their opponent. Some of these claims have some weight, and some are misleading, and it becomes difficult to judge the magnitude of the issues that are actually on the table. Who would they pick as their economic advisors? Let's hear the candidates' own words about who they would pick for a potential Treasury Secretary.
You know, that's a tough question, and there's a lot of qualified Americans, but I think the first criteria, Tom, would have to be somebody who immediately Americans identify with. Immediately say, we can trust that individual. Supporter of Senator Obama's is Warren Buffett.
Two candidates that I would love to have either one of them be president of the United States, and that's Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama. Got a pretty good America already, incidentally.
Which has been very good to you.
But we can do better than we're doing in terms of taking care of 300 million people instead of taking care of just guys like me.
And you have a belief that they will do that. They have ideas and programs, intelligence and energy to do that.
And leadership abilities. You have to get people behind you. You have to get people to aspire to things that they haven't really thought about too much before. And I think both of them would be great leaders.
He's already weighed in and helped stabilize some of the difficulties in the markets and with companies and corporations, institutions today. I like Meg Whitman. She knows what it's like to be out there in the marketplace. She knows how to create jobs. Meg Whitman was the CEO of a company that started with 12 people and is now 1.3 million people in America make their living off eBay. Maybe somebody here has done a little business with him. But the point is, it's going to have to be somebody who inspires trust and confidence.
The other thing you can do is you can look at the people that are around the candidates. Right. And look, until just sort of basically yesterday, McCain's guru on economics was Phil Gramm.
You've heard of mental depression. This is a mental recession. You just hear this constant whining, complaining.
The high priest of deregulation. He spoke glowingly about Alan Greenspan. Once said that, he'd prop him up like the guy in Weekend at Bernie's if Greenspan wasn't able to actually talk.
Well, I was aware a lot of these practices were going on. I had no notion of how significant they had become until very late. I didn't really get it until very late in 2005 and 2006.
If there are two guys that I blame for this crisis, it would be, in order, Alan Greenspan and Phil Gramm. So this is telling you something.
Well, Warren would be a pretty good choice, Warren Buffett, and I'm pleased to have his support, but there are other folks out there.
Well, we've seen Obama's choices. We've seen him sitting down in the room with these people.
I wanted to meet with all of you today to discuss the deteriorating economic situation that we're in right now, from our automobile manufacturers and our banks to small business owners and the families sitting around the kitchen table wondering how they're going to pay the bills. The challenges we're facing could not be more critical. And if we want to meet them, then we can't afford, I believe, to keep on doing the same things that we've been doing over the last several years. We have to change course, and we're going to have to take some immediate action. It was not an accident of history or a normal part of the business cycle that led us to this situation.
Joining me now is Paul Volcker. He served as chairman of the Federal Reserve from 1979 to 1987. He is known for raising interest rates to historic highs in order to combat rising inflation. This move ultimately steered the economy into a prolonged period of growth. He has been said by one Fed historian to be the last god of central banking still standing.
I think we're at a critical point. But what strikes me when I sit back a little bit and try to look at this is, I think finally we have the tools in place potentially for dealing with this.
Conservative commentator David Brooks had this to say about Obama, quote, "I am given a lot of comfort by the fact that the people he's chosen are exactly the people I think most of us would want to choose if we were in his shoes. By far the most impressive people in the Democratic Party. He's phenomenally good at surrounding himself with a team."
Both of them have really taken a final exam with respect to this economic crisis that we are in. In the case of Mr. McCain, I found that he was a little unsure as to how to deal with the economic problems that we were having. And almost every day there was a different approach to the problem, and that concerned me. It's got the sensing that he didn't have a complete grasp of the economic problems that we had. On the Obama side, I watched Mr. Obama, and I watched him during this 7-week period, and he displayed a steadiness, an intellectual curiosity, a depth of knowledge, and an approach to looking at problems like this and picking a vice president that I think is ready to be president on day one, and also in not just jumping in and changing every day, but showing intellectual vigor. I think that he has a definitive way of doing business that would serve us well.
You decide. Your economic future is in their hands. Vote. This is a Daybreak Independent production.